Today's video, we're going to talk about using manual CPC or manual bidding for cheaper click. A lot of people want to get the cheap clicks. They don't want to pay what Google's wanting to charge them with smart bidding. This is a terrible, terrible idea or mindset to be in as an advertiser who wants to actually make money on Google ads. And I'm going to explain exactly why that is on this video here. I'm Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, an online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for clients on running and through the running their online ads for their business. We guarantee more profit from your ads before charging management fees. We are the only agency on the planet who offers any kind of guarantee, which should tell you something about the quality of the information you're going to get on today's video. With that said, I will go into detail on why manual bidding sucks, at least long term for your business, and how paying more per click versus less is actually going to make you more money, okay? If you stay to the end of the video, I'll give you some actual case studies where we actually switched from manual bidding to smart bidding, paid more per click, and actually made quite a bit more money as well on top of everything else. Make sure you watch the end of the video, basically. So with that said, okay, so lay the background here. When using smart bidding, maximize conversion value bidding strategy on your Google Ads account, your CPCs or cost per click are typically going to go up, not down, okay? Which at our agency, we manage a lot of clients here. We manage a lot of accounts. One of the more common questions are, why am I paying so much per click? Well, and I say, you want to pay more per click. It actually is going to make you more money that way. The reason for that is because Google is weeding out the bad traffic that's worth less to your business. That's what they're supposed to do. This is what causes people, though, to think that they're being ripped off. Google's ripping me off, charging me $90 a click here. I want to be paying $10 a click. You could pay the $10 a click, but you get what you pay for, basically. Nothing. There's no free lunch in life. Same thing as it comes to this. And of course, Google isn't going to work against their own interests. With smart bidding, yeah, you want to make more money. Why the hell, though, is Google, if they know somebody's a grand slam prospect that's going to buy from somebody coming through their platform, are they going to sell it to you for $10 when somebody's going to be willing to pay more for it because it's a better quality prospect? They want to optimize to have the ads only show up for people that are they're ready buyers, okay? And not have ads show up for people who don't want to buy shit. Because why show ads for people who don't want to buy? All it's going to do is get people immune to seeing ads and ignore them more in the future in general, which works against their interest. They're working to make their platform better, which is to only show ads when people want to see ads. Those ads, naturally are good. They have to make more money from the ads that are left being shown. Of course, they're going to charge more for those placements than they did before, okay? That's literally what Google's doing. You can Google certain things. If you search for something over and over again, you'll notice Google won't even show the ads anymore. Because they know you don't run it, so why show them anymore? Again, get people so that they start to despise ads and won't want to click on them when they really need them to in the future. So that's the main reason why the cost per click goes up, has been going up, but with smart bidding, smart bidding basically says, you're telling Google, I want to know where the actual customers are, okay? Weed out all the people who aren't customers. Bring me all the people that are. You're expecting them just to bring you all the customers, weed out all the customers, and charge you the same cost per click as they always were, so that you keep making more money, but Google makes less. Is that going to logically make sense in your brain to think this? You have to be a marketer. You got to see it from Google's side. You got to see it from your side. You got to see it from the customer side. What is going to make sense that you can do that's going to make all three parties benefit? Because if you're just expecting to benefit yourself, or even just two parties benefit, you're not going to make money, because that's not how the world works. That's not how this works either. Google's not providing their platform for free. Your customers aren't there from you for no reason, just because you have to pay your light bill or whatever the hell. With that said, the reality is, cost per click doesn't matter anymore because of user level, audience level campaign optimization. I've talked about this concept many times on this channel before, how a keyword is not a keyword anymore. You can bid on the keyword red shoes. Google knows there's 5,000 individual types of people who search for red shoes on a regular basis. Rich, old, young and fat and whatever. with the smart bidding and their machine learning algorithms, what they're learning is who's a person who's likely to buy, who's not likely to buy, who's kind of very likely to buy based upon the user on the user's level, what the users like individually, not even just what they search. Why? Because they want to be able to get more out of their platform. Not sending people that aren't buyers to see an ad, but people who are a buyer, make sure they for sure see an ad. Ultimately, you pay more for a click, but the click is going to be more qualified through the system from them understanding who should actually see your ad and who shouldn't. It's for them to not lose money and for you to basically get what you want at the end of the day and what the user wants at the end of the day, all right? Is the reason why manual bidding isn't going to make sense for you, or should I say, that lays the groundwork for you to understand why manual bidding isn't going to help you. Smart bidding optimizes for customers. You're here to get customers, not to pay for clicks. Clicks are irrelevant. With manual bidding, you certainly can pay less for clicks, but there's no optimization of the clicks that you're paying for. You're going to get clicks, good clicks, in between clicks, and yes, the overall cost per click is going to be less, but your conversion rate ultimately is going to be less. So it doesn't matter how cheap they are or how much cheaper they are. And I can tell you from personal experience, having managed hundreds and hundreds of different accounts now, and actively manage about 50 different Google Ads accounts at any given time, doing the strategy on them directly, that you will make more money with smart bidding than you will with manual bidding because of this lasering in on the customers that you want. With smart bidding, them actually finding where the customers are at, who buys your specific offer, more so than other people's offers, you'll make more money with that than paying way less per click with manual bidding because of how good Google's machine learning algorithms are at identifying exactly who your customer is. Who likes to buy, because just to give you an example here, every person in your space charges a different amount of money, right? Some people charge a lot, some people charge a little, some people charge in the middle. Different customers want to buy different things. Some people want to buy the cheapest. Some people want to buy somewhere in the middle. Some people want to buy the highest priced one. How do you make more money? You find out who your customer is. Is it the guy who wants premium offer? And then you go after the person who wants the premium offer. Well, you can only do that so far with your ad account through the levers and switches in your ad account. The machine learning algorithms that Google has is identifying which portion of the people that you set to target actually like to buy something at the current price point that you have. And then weed out all the people who don't normally buy at the price point you have. And then what you're left with eventually is just the people who love the out of your product or service, and you get a great ROI. Google wins in that situation because somebody who wants a cheap product can get a cheap product. They could still sell those customers for a decent amount of money that they couldn't sell to you at a decent amount of money. And the customer wins because they ultimately found something quicker than they could otherwise. Everybody wins in that scenario. Versus trying to ram the ad down the throat of the person doesn't want it, and then so they could just simply sell you the click at the cheapest possible rate. Here you go, here's your click, it's cheap. I know you love cheap, here's your cheap click. And making you feel all warm and fuzzy inside because your click is cheap. That is irrelevant today in today's market. If you don't know or dispute what I'm saying here, you can always tell me about your situation in the comment section or just simply reach out to me at my firm. I'll talk to you about your situation. I can guarantee we can get more profit from your ads. Not that you'll pay less per click, but you'll get more profit. And a lot of that's going to have to do with utilizing smart bidding in the correct way. If you are looking for guaranteed results without having to do anything to get them, other than writing a check, it's what we provide at our firm and is our bread and butter. Reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about the opportunity of working together and see if it's possible. We also, by the way, sell templates. We've been selling ad templates that work for a number of different markets. If you're in a niche market that we've already operated in and already spent years building up ads in that market to get great, phenomenal results in that market, you can buy from us straight out the ads, campaigns, landing page templates that work for your market, copy paste those into your account and get the same results we were with none of the work, time, and effort and money that it cost us to find out how to get to those results in our market or in that niche market that you're in. We got people using these templates to start whole their businesses from scratch, whether they're starting e-commerce businesses, when they're totally clueless, when they're starting out, but because the template's so good that they were able to make the business work, or they wanted to start selling leads, taking a template, answering the phone, subbing the work out because the template's so damn efficient, they can do that efficiently and effectively. You could know nothing about a tree cutting business, but you could get a template that generates leads at a super low cost, answer the phone, sub it out, and still make a business just from having that template. Anyway, if you're interested in any of those other opportunities, reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. With that said, back to the topic at hand here, you can pay less for a click. You're just going to usually be off topic and ultimately be paying clicks by trying to pay less per click, or trying to, with your main pursuit being, let's see how little we can pay for a click. Now, no doubt, you want to do as good of a job as you can as an advertiser, so you pay as little click cost as possible. The higher click-through rates than your competition and higher conversion rates than your competition. If you do that, you're naturally going to be paying less money per click for a similar quality click as you had before. That is true. However, if you're too focused on cost per click, that is, I want to get a cheap cost per click and I want it now, paying a high cost per click. I want cheap and I want it now. You're going to end up paying clicks. It's just like anything else in life. To give you a perfect analogy here, I still don't to this day understand the whole mindset of cheaper is better. You could buy a car battery at Walmart for your car. That car battery is going to be an absolute piece of garbage. Okay, why? Because Walmart really turns the screws to all their vendors to get the price down, and then they're forced to make this product, and to the point where the products cannot be made without failing on the first use. And so you go to Walmart and you say, oh, this battery is $90. Oh, great deal. People that know better don't fall for buying a battery at Walmart because they know the deal. But there's a whole section of the market who do only want cheap. Going back to like what we were saying before. You could buy that battery cheap and then it fails, and then people will literally do that and then go back and buy another battery and then it fails. And when you could just buy the battery that's quality for $250 and it won't fail for the next 5 years no matter what. You're not gaining anything by buying the cheap battery. You're just wasting your time and energy and effort replacing the thing 3 times as often as you needed to do otherwise. At the end of the day, you get what you pay for. Google sets the system up with the manual bidding, because otherwise they would just give us smart bidding and nothing else. They give us manual bidding so that the part of the market who's the Walmart shopper, no offense to anybody watching this, but the Walmart shopper caters to people who can't properly evaluate value, and they associate value to cost and nothing else. And they say, okay, yeah, you want cheap? Sure. On your doorstep here, and you can buy all you want if you want. The person who wants quality, they have that too. And so they cater to both ends of the market. You pay, if Google, with your manual bidding, obviously you could charge, or you could bid whatever you want per click. What happens typically when you bid too low, or lower than, let's say, what the Google keyword tool says that you should be paying, you're just going to start getting lower quality clicks. Namely, clicks like if you're targeting red shoes and you sell red shoes, you'll start showing up for people looking for, do these red shoes like make me fat? Or some random ass, because you want to pay $2 a click. And Google's saying the lowest you should be paying on the Google keyword tool, on the keyword planner, says the lowest you should be paying is $4 a click. That's ultimately what they're going to do to you. They're not going to turn you away, and that's what you're going to be buying because that's what you want. It's cheap, and you don't value anything else besides cheap. You can buy the cheap traffic if you want from Google, or you could just say, I don't care what the traffic costs, I just want to make a profit, and you'll pay the most cost per click possible as long as you're still making a profit. That's where the real money is at, because the clicks that are the most likely to convert, because they're so understanding who buys and who doesn't buy in a market, they can charge, even what the Google keyword says you should be paying on the high end, even more than that, when they know somebody's very, very likely to convert. The deal is, with smart bidding, you can set up the smart bidding to target any ROI or cost per lead that you want. You don't have to worry about cost per click anymore. You just need to know your numbers, know what you need to pay for a lead to be profitable after you're factoring in your close rates, lifetime value of a customer, your margins, all of it. Or you just and same thing technically with your target ROAS or ROI, because you still got to know what a customer's worth over the long run in terms of all their future value to your business and so forth, to understand what you need to be paying to get the customer in the door in the first place, which a lot of people don't understand. They just think if somebody should buy and it should pay for the ad cost of whatever it costs to get the customer the first time on the first purchase, and that's it. And that works for markets where people only buy once. If you're in a market where people buy more than once and that you're expected to do that, they've made it easy for you. You just set your target cost per lead or target cost or ROAS to whatever it is that you know you need, because you've done the math in your business, what your customers are worth. It will float the cost per click up and down to maximize the amount of conversions you can get at that certain cost per conversion or ROI that you need. And so you don't have to get all pissy or in a hissy fit about how much they're charging you per click, because you know part of the game is they're going to, technically it should go up over time, not down, because your conversion rate's going to keep going up, 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 up. Your conversion rate will start out a lot of times 2-3%, and it'll go up to 45% before you're said and done with it. Yes, your cost per click is going to go up, but your conversion rate is going to go up faster than your cost per click is to offset it. Naturally, we want to pay less per click by doing a good job as an advertiser, by getting good quality scores, whatever. But at the end of the day, that cost per click metric nowadays is totally irrelevant, honestly. The whole, I'm going to not pay very much per click at the beginning to try to save money until my ads work. All you're going to do is just, it's not useful to you anymore. You're better off, if that's your situation, by the way, you should be targeting less keywords, less audiences, whatever, and just try to get the whole budget you have to make one keyword work. Pay what it costs, what it's supposed to cost, what the Google Keyword Planner says something should cost, and just so that you don't end up getting remnant traffic that Google doesn't convert very well. Rack up enough conversions so you can use smart bidding, which usually if you get like 30, you can already switch over to that. And then just let the system do what it's supposed to do, and it's designed to do, which is to find your customers at the cost per conversion you need and charging you more where a customer's worth more, period. Which, by the way, the reason why people don't like to pay so much per click also is because they don't want to set up the proper tracking at the beginning either. You need to get your tracking and your numbers dialed in if you expect to make money. There's too little room for error with this. You got to understand exactly what your closing rates on your leads are, exactly what a customer's worth, so you know exactly what you can pay for a lead. There's no screwing around and just, I don't know if it's profitable or not, and therefore I just want to pay a little per click because it makes me feel good inside that I'm not paying too much, which is the most stupid way about going about things with this Google Ads thing that you can possibly do. You got to be unemotional about how much things cost. You just have to understand where exactly is the point of profitability that you need with your ads and do whatever works to get there, period. Because then you'll finally be ahead of everybody else that wants things to work. They want Google to work a different way, or they want it to be easier, or they want it to be cheaper, or they don't want to set up the tracking. They just want to have a budget that they can't spend more than arbitrarily, and then that's it. Your mindset is the one thing that'll typically put you over all your other competitors on that alone. Understanding that the prep work and understanding what you need, putting the right system in place is where the money is. Before you have ran a single ad, whatever you've done before the first ad is run is going to have more of an effect on what you're going to make and how much you're going to make than anything else you do after, truly. And that is because a good ad and a good landing page will naturally, with the right tracking setup, will just naturally get more and more profitable the longer you run it. And it's not a matter of if it will make money, but when. Versus the average person's going to spend a tiny amount of time setting up their ads initially, and then they're going to say, oh, it's not working. Oh, I'm paying too much per click. Oh, let's drop it because it's not I can't afford, blah, blah, blah. Can't afford is irrelevant. Is it making you money? In other words, are you hitting the cost per conversion you need, or are you not? And if you're not, is your funnel good enough to beat your competitors? If it's not, stop your ads completely, work on the funnel, and then come back when you could say definitively your funnel is better than your competition. And I don't mean what you think, what somebody who's ran hundreds of campaigns thinks about it, because they're the ones who understand what funnels are good and not, because it's very, very hard to understand what sales funnels are effective when you've only run one in your entire life. It's just the way that it is. It's just like saying you're going to diagnose why you've never worked on a car again or ever in your life. Of course, you might get lucky with figuring that out, but probably not. It's not likely. So why would you do that when it comes to the ads? In fact, the ads are even harder than fixing a car engine, because at least with a car engine, there's like a book that says how to fix car engines. With ads, there is no book. You have to just, through trial and error, figure that over years. And usually it's not a couple of years, it's 10 plus years before you're really effective at it. I know because I've been doing this 20 years, and it took me at least 5 before I was effective at all. With that said, and on that topic, you should subscribe to this channel, because all the information you basically need to learn how to do your own ads, which you still got to do trial and error to figure out and be effective, but all the stuff that is effective and not that you can learn from a book, sort of say, is all on this channel, because I spend 40 hours a week doing ad testing. I've been doing ads for 20 years now. For hundreds of markets, I've done ads. I give you all the stuff that I find that works and doesn't work. So if you're going to pay attention to anything and your goal is to make millions of dollars running ads for your business, you want to pay attention to this stuff first. Most of the other information you're going to find online about how to make ads work is given to you by people just reading the documentation on things, on what Google says works, so you're wasting your time with it. And most of the other people that say they run ads don't run ads. They don't. I know. You can't learn from people who don't run ads as their full-time job. I literally spend the weekends doing video content. My full-time job during the week is just doing ad testing and strategy, and that's all I do. So if you're going to pay attention to anything, you pay attention to this at the very least first. Also, you should check out my blog if you haven't already, guaranteedppc.com/blog. You can find my blog. My blog has actual step-by-step instructions to execute the strategies we use to guarantee results for our clients as well. You should definitely check that out for yourself as well. But with that said, case study wise, getting into this as the final note here. So you know why you shouldn't necessarily be just going and paying attention to cost per click. It's you get what you pay for in terms of a click. The cheaper the click is, the less likely it is to be valuable. Just like the battery analogy. The cheaper the car battery, the less likely it is going to provide value to your business. And at the end of the day, the value is so low on a cheap item, you're not getting any economic advantage buying the cheaper thing. There's no free lunch, basically. So with that said, we've had a lot of clients who want to use smart bidding, and then we'll switch over to manual bidding, and then we'll switch over to smart bidding because that client had a fear of paying more per click, and then we started making real freaking money. Granted, that client, part of what scared them away was they didn't have the level of tracking that they need, which generally speaking, that means full-on profit tracking. If you're generating leads, you got to know which leads turns into sales. So you could take the sales revenue data, plug it into your ad account, so you know if you're on point with your campaigns and whether paying that high cost per click is getting you the ROI that you need. You need this. We had somebody in the restoration space that does mold restoration, floodwater cleanup using manual bidding, paying $20-$30 a click. We switched to smart bidding and went over $100 a click, but the conversion rate shot up a whole ton to the point where the conversion rate's over 40%, whereas before it's less than 10%. And the quality of the leads went up as soon as we switched to smart bidding, and we were using the revenue data to make the ads, to steer the ads, given that the ads now are going to steer based upon what's producing sales, not leads. And we started making a ton more money once we finally switched over to this. And this is on an account that ran for years on manual bidding. Just simply switching over to smart bidding and plugging in the revenue data, we were working on a cost per acquisition here, that is cost per sale of around $500. Whereas before with the manual bidding and people having no tracking, they don't even know what they're paying for an acquisition. They're just spraying and praying, so to say. Cost per acquisition was closer to $1,000, even though they're paying way less per click, like basically paying 20% per click is what the smart bidding campaign was paying or charging us through the smart bidding that we had set up that was optimizing for sales versus, with him, he's just literally optimizing for a lower cost per click. Made all the difference there. So in other words, you could pay 5 times as much per click and you could actually make more profit than what you were paying when you were paying 20% of that cost per click. Due to the machine learning and then the machine learning utilizing the data about who actually became a customer and who didn't based upon your pricing point and the value of your specific offer and your customer taste and what exact type of customers like your offer versus your competitor offers, and dialing everything into finding your exact customer and bringing it to you with the data that you're giving them to be able to do it. So that's a perfect example of why manual bidding and low cost per click isn't necessarily the way to make the most money for your business. It certainly isn't. We use smart bidding on every campaign that we run after we get enough conversions because it always is going to be able to outdo what we can do with manual bidding. Manual bidding we'll use at the beginning to get a campaign going so that the ads will start consistently getting shown. So if they're not shown, what we do is we're going to double our bids. And if they still don't show, we'll double our bids again. We'll keep doing that to the ad show and start getting a few conversions. Once we get a few conversions, we'll switch to smart bidding because that's always going to get to us more profit and sales per dollar in ad spend because it's utilizing the sales data to actually optimize the ads. People don't want to set this up though because it takes work at the beginning and they just want it to be easy. You know, take Easy Street and struggle, you know, forever? Or do you want to struggle up front, get the system set up right that gets real results, and then once you've advertised for a few months, you've collected some data, now you are really starting to make some big improvements. That should be your mission to do the second, obviously, but it takes some maturity to know and realize the money isn't in, you know, running the ads itself, it's in the prep, like I mentioned earlier. So anyway, with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said smart bidding was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.